change. His word is forever, settled in heaven and in the rain. Get your mind on point. Satan is here to destroy. And if he can get you to fall away, his kingdom will rejoice. You gotta stay walking in the spirit. Pay attention to that small still voice. Keep your mind and heart on Yah, and he will keep you strong. Can't you see what's wrong? You gotta catch them thoughts at the door. Cause if it comes through, that's where you make agreement, and that will be a downfall for you. Time is on the clock. You don't know how long you got until your heart stops. Time is of the essence, so please take heed to the message. Tick tock, tick tock.
Look, Noah told him it was gonna rain every day for 120 years straight. But everybody thought he was crazy, still the same. Nothing's new, nothing changed. The king coming back soon, no Simba. Straight fire in his eyes, no embers. Weeping the gnash in the teeth, and the baddest elites gonna blast in they briefs. I'm talking bows be falling while Babylon is falling. You better heed the calling, most will receive a flogging. So while they protest holiness and righteous living, I stay focused. Working out my salvation like a bow flex. Steady sticking out his spirit, SOS. Cause Satan stay doing the most to make you know less. While y'all's hand moving steady like a Rolex. Jacob so blessed. We go.
Talk. Time is on the clock. You don't know how long you got until your heart stops. Time is of the essence, so please take heed to the message. Tick tock.
Hey.
Tick tock.
Yo, time is of the essence. Time's the only blessing. For the elect's sake, y'all to shorten time to save Jake. White man, brown man, yellow man. Y'all coming back for the other man. All the tribes of the earth is gonna mourn. You better check your clock and the type of seeds that you be sowing. Yo, time is really ticking, sin ain't really stopping. Listen to my words, it's truth I'm really dropping. Ain't no issue while you living and got breath. Commandments, old traditions is what's left. Listen to the trumpet shout, shepherd about to check out.
Talk. Time is on the clock. You don't know how long you got until your heart stops. Time is of the essence, so please take heed to the message. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Time is on the clock. You don't know how long you got until your heart stops. Time is of the essence, so please take heed to the message. Tick tock, tick tock.
Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom, it's Michael Israel. And as you could tell by the title, we're going to really get this thing done. I ain't going to get sidetracked today. This is Biblical Masculinity Part 3. If you saw Biblical Masculinity Part 2, I kind of got sidetracked and didn't really get into the lesson. I was just talking a lot about what's going on out there and just hitting on some points in there. But we're going to get back to it. I'm going to really get into this. For y'all, for anybody's information, that song was by Brother Mike. And if you want to know his channel, I'm going to pull it up here real quick so y'all could see it. Okay. And that was Deacon Nigel and Pastor Corey in that song right there with Brother Mike. There we go. All right. And I'll put it up here. And this is his page if you want to subscribe to it. When we end this, I'll probably take it out with this song right here. I don't think I've heard that. And he came out with it a while back. But that's Brother Mike. That's Straitway NYC, New York. Up there with Brother Steve that you saw on here earlier. They got a bunch of musicians up there. We'll just keep it 100. They got a bunch of musicians up there. They got the Black Kenny G up there. And then they got Brother Steve up there. He plays the keyboard. So, and like I said, Brother Steve was on the show the other day. All right. So, real fast, we're going to hit a couple quick news headlines, and we're going to get into this thing. I'm going to give the news a quick look over also. Let me see. So, for some reason, I saw fit to put this up here, so let's see why. I'm going to pull it up. It says, Jacksonville area coronavirus updates. Avoid grocery stores, pharmacies for the next 2 weeks. White House says. Okay, so they basically they're telling us down here in Florida to avoid those places. Interesting. I told the brothers and sisters here in Straitway, Florida, a couple days ago. It was probably Wednesday or whatever, where I was like, "Yo, stock up." All right. Somebody asked, what is this biblical manhood? You're about to see. And it's going to be a very informative lesson for you, because a lot of people don't see the manhood or the masculinity in the Bible, because religion, as you know it, Roman Catholicism, Christianity, Catholic Hebrewism, all that stuff that you're typically used to is feminized, very feminized, watered down. It teaches you how to be a girly man. Well, today, old Michael Israel gonna teach you how to be a real man. Okay? We're gonna do a man, thou art loosed. Okay? Y'all hear T.D. Jakes? Woman, thou art loose. We're gonna teach you how to let them swing, son. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get into it. All right? But anyway, let's keep it moving. So they're telling people here to stay out of the pharmacy, stuff like that. I told the brothers and sisters in Straitway, Florida, I kind of got a feeling. I said, yo, stock up now, for there's a big rush on these stores. For the most part, we've been able to stay out of these grocery stores. They have a restaurant supply store here where I go buy my stuff. And it's like, man, when you buy stuff from there, boy, it ain't a little. It's going to be a lot. You know, you might need a second, third, fourth refrigerator or something like that. But yeah, that's what we did. See you in there. Shalom, Brother Akeem. I was hollering at him yesterday. He's up there in the belly of the beast up there in Jersey, Camden, Jersey. So, hey, I had to go check in on him. But anyway, let's keep it moving. All right. I'm just keeping it, all right. Let's see what other news I got for you. It's not a lot of news. Just a couple quick things. Okay. This thing's beginning to hit in South Florida. It says 2 South Florida cops in their 30s died from the COVID-19. They passed away from that virus, man. And it goes on and on. That thing hit hard. Okay. I actually have a video. I like to do it. I like to do things professionally, but maybe I'll put it up here another time. I have a video of them spraying. Literally, this is over in China. They are literally over there scrubbing China down, yo. They spraying fog. They got fog trucks spraying. It might be bleach fog or something. Man, they're spraying. They're throwing powder on the ground, scrubbing the ground. They got men walking around individually spraying this fog stuff. Dude, this ain't, that's why people are saying, dude, this thing ain't what, it's a lot more serious than they let on. I think that was their little hustle, you know. All right, so anyway, I just want to put that out there. I'll show the video if I can, but I want to get this lesson in. And I'm going to show you why this lesson is important. I'm going to show you something that happened here in Jacksonville yesterday concerning what I'm about to be teaching on. Okay. It says judges order ankle monitors for people exposed to the coronavirus who refuse to stay home, even if they have not tested positive. Okay? That's just interesting. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like a low-key mark of the beast type test. They're putting that ankle bracelet on you. Okay? Interesting. So I saw that one. I thought I'd put it in there for y'all. All right. Let's see what else we got. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to y'all about. This one right here. It says, woman accused of shooting 2 people, then herself on Jacksonville's north side. Okay? This here, it says one of the victims had non-life-threatening injuries, according to JSO, while the second victim injuries were more severe. I could almost guarantee, with a high degree of certainty, she walked in and somebody was cheating. Like, that, just looking at this headline, I haven't even read the article. Y'all could go read the articles right here and let me know. But this is how that stuff, it's always domestic. Anything that gets somebody charged up on that level and then they go shoot themselves, typically it's something, it has something to do with fornication, unlawful sex, basically. Okay? Real talk. And then everything else comes in there when folks are sleeping around and STDs and all this other crazy stuff. Okay? And that's why this lesson is going to be real talk, okay? And I see, I didn't get any more questions from that dude who asked what I was teaching on. He didn't put nothing else in there. But, all right. One last one. I do not know what this article is, but it's here. So I'm going to see. We'll pull it up. All right. Whoops. Dang, I hate when I do that. All right. Y'all just bear with me. I'm getting this program down. Okay, there we go. All right, so here's it says, let me mute that. I don't want to hear you. It says coronavirus Achilles heel may have been found, experts say. Okay. And what they're trying to push is vaccines, basically. It says the knowledge of conserved sites like this can aid in structure-based design of vaccines and therapeutics. Man, and it's just crazy because if you do a deep search in the, and all we gotta do is, hey, what's this virus attacking? I talked to my mother and my father yesterday, just checking on them, and my mother was saying this virus. She was saying how. And I'm sure some of y'all know this, but the virus, like it attacks the lungs and it like embeds itself in there, like it attacks the lungs aggressively. So what does that tell our brothers and sisters who are knowledgeable about the provisions Most High Yah has made with all these green things we see around us called trees? And what are those things on the trees? Leaves, like in my cousin Vinny. But all these green things, these bushes, plants, trees, grasses, and all this stuff, he's made provision. There's something we know when we hear something's attacking the lungs and there's mucus involved. We know, hey, what herbs What herbs deal with that type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? We got people out here teaching on herbs, you know. The information is readily available. And I'm soon that you heard it here first. After this thing wraps up, the conspiracy theory stuff, because nobody trusts the news. We done caught the news lying so many times. We done caught the government lying so many times. So what they're gonna do after this thing blows over, because all these conspiracy people or I don't want to call them conspiracy theory people. I want to call them, like Pastor Dow said, the alternative news. The non-mainstream news has pointed out all the inconsistencies in the news and in the government and what they're saying, all the BS that they put out. They're going to attack them. So it's already happening now. I watched the algorithms of all these social media platforms, and even recently they've changed big time. So they're going to attack that. They're going to attack the herb stuff. They got to shut that down because they don't need no vaccine. All the answers are there. We know if something's attacking the lungs and there's a lot of mucus, there's so many herbs. Look, that's not clear. This is actually green. Okay, you can't, because it's so green, you see, you see through it. This is kale juice. I just juiced a bunch, and I was like, because I bought a whole bunch of it. I actually bought too much of it yesterday. I didn't have, so I had to just juice it and freeze it before it went bad. So I'm just drinking it. And while I was drinking, I was like, well, let me see what it does. Guess what it does? It fixes all this stuff, and it's a bitter herb too. So anyway, I'm rambling. Straitway KC, shalom to y'all. See y'all in the building. Good to see y'all. Shalom, Straitway KC. Latonia, shalom. She said they really want a track movement. They do. Shaya deliver, shalom to you, sis. Edward Goth, shalom. My man Hakeem, shalom to you, op. You better get that Glock 19 or that Glock 17 or that Glock 45. You know what I'm saying? Or one of each. That's what I recommend. All right? Them the weapons, man. And that's debatable, of course. Shalom, Brother Bernard. Shalom, Josh in the building. Shalom to you, Redbeards Racing. Charles Dickens, shalom to ya. Who else? Frederica, shalom, sis. Shalom. All right. So, yeah, Ya'at Stovo, shalom to you. You said that's your pastor. You talking about the music video. That's cool. Brother Eric Davis, shalom. All right. So let's get into this, man. I'm gonna stay on task. We're gonna actually get through this lesson. And I'm gonna pull my notes up. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, especially you, Malak Lorenzo. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, put them in there, man. Real time, I'll answer them, all right? Shalom, Nalad, shalom to you. Terry, shalom. Brother Lamar, shalom, man. You in, Lamar, are you in upstate? You upstate? Like, people don't know, man. Upstate New York, man. Bro, you could go to some places in there that's totally secluded. People don't know. Upstate New York, man. I used to go up there. Got mountains. Oh, my goodness, man. Upstate New York. All right. All right, so let's see. Let me get my notes up here. I'm going to stay on task. We're gonna get this in. And then I retooled the garden out here. We're gonna get everything in the ground today. All right, let's see. A Bible. Okay, lesson. All right. So yeah, what we're gonna be discussing today is biblical manhood. Something that almost never is yeah. Dang. Brother Mars said it's a catastrophe up here. He said had to stock up just in case. Yeah, man. We try to kind of make it so that we could stay in on this curve or whatever they want to call it. We like topping off on stuff so that even if I have to top off on some more stuff today, but we trying to just top off the supplies because I'm telling you when we go into this, and I'm just telling you, the reason I'm saying this is I'm looking. I'm not just looking at the news. I'm looking at boots on the ground reports and what people are seeing and what's happening. And I've been watching this thing, and you can watch the spiritual combat videos. Okay, you could go back to I think maybe early January, maybe February and stuff like that. I started talking about this and putting the word out about what was going on with this. It's in my videos. You can look at the date. But I just been watching closely, and when when I heard about this, I was like, okay, something else going on over there. But when they said a 14-day incubation period with no symptoms, I was like, oh, that's going worldwide. And then when I really started talking about it and making provisions is when I saw the stewardess land in LAX, and they said she was flying in and out of there and tested positive. And that's when I started ordering stuff and getting my oregano oils and all this other stuff and really trying to get prepared. All right. So, all right. Shalom, Brother Terrence. Shalom, Ira, Bennett. Amen. Good to see you in there. All right. So anyway, but let's get this, man. Let's get this. This is going to be good, y'all. Y'all gonna like this. For those of you who are kind of haven't been following me for a while, a lot of this is gonna be some pretty new information to you. For those of you who have been following me for a while, it'll just be a refresher. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go to Sirach 27. Okay, I'm gonna go to Sirach 27, otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Proverbs on steroids. Okay, that's another funny. It's a funny way of saying it, but it's real talk. So let me see. I want to get it in a good format to display it up here for y'all. There we go. All right, Sirach 27. I think that's yep, Sirach 27. And what we're gonna do, the reason I went here is we're gonna go to Sirach 27, and we gonna go to verse. So Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. So Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 27, and it's verse 3. And let me tell y'all this too, because I was talking about this with somebody yesterday. With spiritual combat, I'm like the main focus of what I deal with here on spiritual combat is kind of more or less character building type stuff and self-development, whether you're a man or a woman. And it's what I continue to do in my life. It's just building character. What's character? Just morals. How you handle people and situations and stuff like that, because that's one of the things we're missing as a people, as a nation, in general. And in the world. But particularly among our people, we really struggle with it. But other nations ain't immune to it either. So there has to be a moral standard, okay? All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. It says here, so again, Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27 in the Apocrypha, it says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Okay? And you know why I put that in there. So when this Malak Lorenzo guy over here on Facebook, when he kind of, I guess he's trying to tease me and like, what the heck is biblical manhood? This is why we're going into it. And let me do something, y'all. Hey, look, I'm gonna just do my little test. I gotta do I gotta do this. I have to, because it validates my my point. I can actually see if what angle people are coming from. All right. I can actually see what angle they're coming from. When I can see, I could tell whether a person, I can see the angle people are coming from, whether they clowning and or whether they're single. All right. Oh man, boy, you can't make this stuff up. I ain't even gonna, I could go look on people's page and tell what they're coming, a lot of times whether they're clowning me because they got a feminine spirit, I could quickly figure that out. But I ain't gonna put folks out. I'm done, But let me see. You know the way I am, man. I gotta just. Anyway, I ain't gonna do it to him. But I could tell the angle people are coming from with their comments. I just go over there and look at their page and see whether they're masculine or they got a feminine spirit on them. And I ain't gonna put it out there. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna just stay focused with the lesson. Because I just went over there and had a look-see. So, you know what that means. All right, anyway. So, let's do this. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Let's break this down meticulously. Unless a man hold himself diligently. Let's pull that up real quick. And then we're going to move forward. But you got to be, all right. You got to be, all right. And if you hear that sound, it's my stomach growling. I just intermittently fast. It don't matter. I'll do a juice fast or whatever. So my stomach's growling, but it don't matter. I got nutrition. All right, look, diligent, having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. So basically having like attention to detail. Here, let me put it up here so y'all can see it. Okay? Having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. Attention to detail, that's what I say. Characterized by steady, earnest, and energetic effort, painstaking, how to use diligent in it. Okay, so that's what that it said. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord. What's the fear of the Lord? Doing thus saith the Lord, not thus saith your feelings, or thus saith the easiest way, or thus saith some woman, or thus saith some ministry. If it don't line up with book, keep it moving. All right. All right. So look at this. Yeah. Somebody said the mechanic's mindset. Yep. And that's one of the reasons. As we move forward, you'll see what I'm saying. I'm not gonna get ahead of it. All right. But it said if you don't hold yourself diligently in the fear of the Lord, and this is not some vague ambiguity, hairy-fairy thing I just say, because that's what I'm saying. Fear the Lord. Fear the Lord. Be diligent. Yell, get emotional. Raise your emotional feelings. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a sin to do that, to charge up, to get amped up. Whatever you want to call that, to get in the spirit, whatever you want to call that. I'm not saying it's a sin to do that. But you got to do that in the fear of the Lord. Diligently holding yourself in the fear of the Lord. What does that mean? Doing what the book say to a T. Okay? That's not going on, man. They're just a bunch of emotionalism and people saying I'm in the fear of the Lord, you know? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. It says his house shall soon be overthrown, man. All right? It's real talk. All right. So here we go. Let's go to the next verse. I hope y'all understood that. Yeah. Somebody said you have to put in more works. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we got here. All right. So now we're going to go to Isaiah. You know where we're going now, y'all. Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3. Where are we going? We're going to them scriptures that the Christian Hebrews never go to. That's where we going. All right. Isaiah chapter 3. And we're going to go verse. You see that up there? Verse 12. Y'all know. Some of y'all already knew where I was going. All right. So here we go. All right. So Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Okay? Look, you don't have to go far, especially in the black community, and see that in multiple ways, children are their oppressors. If you go in a neighborhood, man, how to what degree do children respect older people? To what extent do children or the youth or younger people respect the older, hoary-haired, the gray-haired people? It's when you look at it, it's totally upside down. When you look at the child support system, or whatever you want to call it, when you look at it, if you kind of begin to go through and talk to people about this system out here where, you know who they're going to award custody to. Dudes being like, man, cheaper to keep her and all this stuff. You see how through the child support system, man, just ask the next brother you around about his baby's mama and the oppression, financial oppression he's over through children. This is one of the most common ones. Oh, they're like, yeah, I'm just staying here for the children. That's a big one, okay? And let's move forward in that scripture. It says, and women rule over them. I mean, I don't even have to, even in the Catholic Hebrew community, that is widespread. Dominant women, overly and deceptively, in a real subtle, smooth way, these women have platforms. And they say, oh, I'm just this, or, oh, I just do that. But when you look at the functionality of what they're doing, they're ruling over men and congregations. You just look. It says you will know them by their fruit. So you just look at how it's laid out, right? Keep it 100. The wicked women makes it hard finding a woman that love Yah. Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're going to go all the way into that now, because I'm always coming with a balanced approach now, because it says children are their oppressors and their women rule over them. Oh, my people, it ain't the women that's causing you to err. It ain't the women ruling over you that's the problem, okay? I don't give a damn. I always come, it's the men are the problem. It's weak-ass dudes. The women, let's keep it 1,000 with this thing. The women have been damaged. They've been hurt. The man, hey, look, I'm telling you. Trust me, y'all see biblical manhood. A lot of people, because I'm just setting up the frame, okay? Y'all see biblical manhood, and a lot of people, okay, Michael Israel, Spiritual Combat, biblical manhood, okay, he getting ready to go in on these women. We need to be yelling at these women. Hey, all right, y'all gonna learn something new today, and it's gonna really hit you. It's gonna be very powerful once I get all this set up. I'm just setting the frame. Oh, my people, because it says, listen, look, y'all gotta read. Like, people ain't critically reading the scripture. They just read it and project their feelings on it. We gonna read it critically. As for my people, so he's talking about us as a nation, and he's talking about us as a nation. Let's set the context. This is back then. This ain't now, but this is relevant to now. It says, as for my people. So that's the context of Isaiah chapter 3. When you read it in its context, I understand that. But what I am saying is relevant today. I see it everywhere. All right, so look. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. So he's talking about us the people. But when you read this critically, where is he pointing the issue at? Why is that so? He says, oh, my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. That's the issue. These weak ass leaders are the problem. Not the women, not the children. Like a lot of these, that's where you got one group of folks, they don't speak on, then you got another group of folks, oh, it's the women. Nah, it's the leaders. And destroy the way of thy paths. All right, let's move. We're gonna move to the next script. All right, and like I said, we just setting it up. All right, Isaiah. Okay, so how do they cause thee to err? What's the issue? Okay, why are they causing us to err? Why are they causing us to go astray? What are they doing? What are the leaders doing that's causing us to be off? Okay, so we're gonna go to Ephesians chapter 5. So let me pull that up for y'all. Go to Ephesians. All right, y'all just bear with me. I'll get it up here. We're going to go to Ephesians chapter 5. Most of y'all already know where I'm going. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 23. Well, we can start 22. It says, wives, all right? Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Okay? Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Okay? And we know this, especially if you're a Hebrew coming from, you got Hebrews who come in through ministries that, and I feel the Most High have set up to receive people coming out of Christianity, coming into the Hebraic understanding. There's ministries kind of set up for that, and that's their calling. And then you got ministries set up for Hebrews coming off the streets and off of heavy oppression and poverty, and on the front line, the street Hebrews, and he has ministries set up for people coming up out of that to get their ear or whatever. But, it says, seek and ye shall find. So you got to constantly be digging. You can't just sit in the ministry and, I'm going to just sit here, this is where I'm at. You got to constantly be digging in the script, and growing and working on yourself. That's book. If you're reading a book, that's what you're going to see. Anyway, so the reason I said that is a lot of these ministries that are set up for people coming out of the streets, like they teach you this domineering, totalitarian way of dealing with your wife. And they don't come off that. And that ain't so. That's not where it ends at. Because if you want to know how you need to be dealing with your woman, it's how Christ dealt with the church. It's how Christ dealt with your ass when he should have killed you. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're going to get into that a little more, and I'm going to break it down real meticulously. Mikael Gabar, Chi-Town Gladiator. Shalom, family. Shalom. I seen that video of you out there in Arizona getting it in. You know what I'm saying? I like that, man. All right. So, okay. So let's continue on. It says, husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. You know what I'm saying? You willing to die for yours? I am. But love ain't cut. Like, again, I broke love down on if y'all saw Biblical Manhood Part 1, I biblically define love, and and then I also define the world's concept of love, which is lust according to the Bible. So the world's definition of love is the Bible's definition of lust. The Bible's definition of love is keeping the commandments. Okay? Which all this stuff comes in. Having character, developing character. There's a lot of, and this is, again, going back to the camp, the One West kind of understanding or whatever, it's a mechanical love. It's a mechanical way of applying the scriptures, and it's like a mechanical way of riding a bike. Okay, if the bike leans this way, I push the handlebar this way, and I put the pedal down this way, and I shift my butt that way. And it's a mechanical way of riding the bike when you got to learn how to ride the bike. So, and you'll see what I'm talking about moving forward. But then you go to the other side. You go to the Christian Hebrew side, where and they riding they are going bike backwards, running in this shit. Okay. Hey man, brother Christopher, I appreciate you. Shalom to your fam. You always come in there and do that. I appreciate your family. All praises. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So look, it's a mechanical way of riding a bike. All right. They're riding the bike back. Brother Mike, shalom to your family. Prayers and blessings to Straitway, New York. We pray. I want everybody to say that's Brother Mike in there on YouTube in the comments. Say shalom to him. He's the one who he's the artist who made that song there I played at the beginning. And y'all also send prayers and blessings up there to our saints up there in New York City. They in the belly, man. They up there. They front line in the trenches. All right. So what we're gonna do, what I'm gonna do, is break this down. All right. And what you're gonna find, we all need, as men, there's a lot of growth we have to have in certain areas. All right. But it says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Okay? That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the word, of water by the word. Okay? So, real fast, if you've always wanted to know, all right, I'm a husband, where's my model of how I need to be dealing with my wife and this, that, and the other? How do I love my wife? Look at how Christ dealt with the church. What's the church? Israel is the church. The Hebrews, Israel, that is the church. You know, I could go define that and break that down, but that's the church. Okay. And how'd he deal with Israel? He was patient with them, with the northern tribe and the southern tribe. He was patient. He's long suffering. Sometimes he'll back off from them. Sometimes he'll let them get disciplined. He'll let the pain come on them. He'll cut them. He'll rebuke them. He gave the northern tribe a bill of divorce. He divorced them when they were just cheating and running around. You see what I'm saying? So that is all through the book, where that's the model you have to go on. It says it right here. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. He wasn't a hardcore, brutal dictator, but he would be stern with him. He'd rebuke him. All right. I appreciate you, Brother Christopher. All praises, man. I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad. If one person learning, man, I'm gonna just keep this thing going. Just one person's learning. I'm gonna keep this thing going. But apparently, a lot of people are learning. Okay, so that's how he dealt with them, and we're gonna move forward. When I break this all the way down, I'm going to break it down into action steps that you can apply today in your marriage or whatever. It's going to be good. So husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Okay? So in another lesson, I could break down all the, you know, if you have even amateur Bible knowledge, you know how how patient Christ was dealing with us as a nation, or how patient he was dealing with us as a nation all through the book. Okay, you know how all the analogies of a husband to a wife. And how you sitting there getting frustrated, like men get frustrated in their marriage and relationships. But wait, what were you doing back in the day where your ass should have been mopped up? I know my ass was wicked for years. I should have, I think of a time when I was sitting in a car with some ghetto ass Negroes at an ATM in the shadows, getting ready to rob somebody, like into some high level wickedness, where it could have been a rap multiple times. Talk to me. I see my soldiers in there. I see Mikhail Gabar, the Hebrew gladiator in there. He know. So stuff like that right there, you can't be impatient with these women that everybody says so wicked. And then there's other stuff that goes in there also, because of stuff I'm seeing out there. Somebody said, when am I Hebrew? Oh man, Hebrews in the hood. Hey, shalom family. When am I coming up to the tribe? Brother, what I'm doing now, because I was traveling all around the Hebrew community, to a certain extent, that's where y'all had me at, traveling all over the place. And that's where I was at. But where the Most High got me, I'm getting myself where I need to be financially, and I'm going to get on some land. I'm going to move into a rural area and get on land, and then I might start going around again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Hebrews in the hood, say shalom, Mikhail Gabar over there on Facebook, man. I know y'all had talked, man. Brother, how you doing up there also, man? How you making out? What's the shy looking like with this pandemic and everything? How y'all doing up there? Let me know. All right. So let's keep moving. All right. So now we're going to move on to the next verse. All right. Let's move on. And I hope y'all getting where I'm going. I'm just skimming the surface. But I'm getting ready to hit y'all with some we're about an hour in. I'm getting ready to get into the meat of this. Okay, but we skimming the surface. All right, Ephesians. We went to. All right, Genesis. All right. We're gonna go check this out. We're gonna go to Timothy, and we're gonna go to 1 Timothy chapter 2. These are all typical scriptures people go to in a non-critical way, though. So we're going to go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 2. Go on there. All right, Mikhail said, okay, well, let me know when you settle. I'll try and come see you. It's chaos, but we still gathering and helping the community out. Okay. Hey, man, send me an email, man. I'm going to hit you up. Okay. I know some brothers up there. Dang, man. Brother Jan Martin, man. Wow, I appreciate that. I don't even know what kind of currency that is you just doing there, but all praises. Hey, brother Mikael, it's right there in the description, because I know people up there. And look, man, we could do something for folks or link you up with somebody. I know everybody's resources ain't all that, but I've been telling the brothers down here in me and Straitway, Florida, the brothers here, man, I saw some stuff that last week with the brothers here. Selflessness. That I'm gonna do a whole video on it. We got some brothers that are adamant about staying low key in Straitway, Florida down here. They just don't. I thought nobody cared about being in front of a camera talking. I thought that's the way everybody was. But there's people who, they're not very talkative, social people. That's just their personality. But they are selfless. They exemplify where it says in, what's that called? It says, upon these two things hang all the law and the prophet. They exemplify selflessness. You know, loving your brother as you love yourself. They put you in front of them. Okay? That's when you could build. And that's what we've developed. Somebody said, I can't find Israelites in Long Island, New York. What you need to do, Quana Nicole, is you need to reach out to Straitway, New York. Okay, and the way to do that is call that number that's in the description. And you need to call the dining hall and make yourself known to them and link up with Straitway, man. He's some real ass brothers. I can say that. Like you could disagree with the doctrine, you could disagree with this, with that, with the other, and all these little gripes people got about Straitway and Pastor Dow. You could do whatever the hell you want, but I could tell you this, I've never ran into such serious-minded, men of their word, high moral character people, okay? And like I said, in the coming months, it's going to begin, the fruit of that will begin to be seen, and people, you know, it says you'll know them by their fruits. I mean, what Pastor Dow's done for me and my household, and having us prepared completely, you know, a whole family. If I pass away tomorrow, I know everybody's shooting straight up in here. I know everybody's AR-15 proficiency up in here. I know the food. I know medical, the ability to care for, you know, the hospital is not our first option here at Straitway, Florida. The police are not our first option. 911 is not our first option in an emergency. We got some people that we could count on. And that's what it's about. That's book. That's loving your brother as you love yourself, not loving this wicked ass beast system. Anyway, let me stay on topic, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. So we're at First Timothy chapter 2. Okay? I'm going to put it up here. All right? And we're going to go to, let me see what verse I'm going to go to. We're going to go, I think it's verse 12. Okay? And I'm going to move forward because I got this one other scripture. Then we're going to get into the meat and break this down so that you can apply it in what you got going on. That was my outline. It says, let the women learn in silence with all subjection. He says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So look, I'm going to tell you what happens on here. What happens on here is, with this scripture, I'm going to show you the way the two sides are. So, on the more militant Hebrew side, kind of the more camp-based street Hebrew side, shut up, woman, don't even talk. We don't even want you breathing up in this mud. Hold your breath when we, you know, they go to that extreme. Now, and that's like a mechanical type Hebrew side. But let's go, all right, so then when we go to the other end, to the other side of the spectrum, the Christian Catholic Hebrew side, what they say is, oh, that was during that time. And that was what Paul was saying because of Diana worship. And that's factual. Paul was saying that to a particular church because of the Diana worship thing. And if you look up what Diana worship was and what was going on with that, it's no different than what like going on today with Beyonce and all this women's liberation stuff. Basically no different. But what I'm pointing out here is Paul precepted to Torah. Because everybody like, oh, ain't Torah. Where you going to find that in Torah? Torah don't say that. But then with the very next verse, he said he went to Torah. See, and this is what people don't know when you read Paul. If Peter already told you, make sure you know Torah before you go reading Paul. Because if you don't, a lot of people don't realize Paul literally never said nothing without going back to Torah. Now, they didn't have verses and stuff like that. Paul had the whole Torah memorized. So what he'd do is just reference a story or something back in Torah. But again, Catholic Hebrews, New Testament Hebrews, and Christian Hebrews, they're New Testament people. They just go off their feelings and they don't know Torah. Or they don't want to. Anyway, it says, so here he goes, precepting it to Torah. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived. So the reason he don't want the women teaching and he don't want the women usurping authority over men is because they're more easily deceived. He precepted. It says, for Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Okay? Notwithstanding, she shall be saved. And he goes on. Okay? And and this is why, look at my viewership at Spiritualcombat. I'm not popular. If y'all did not know, I'm not popular in the Hebrew community. I'm the scourge and the wickedness of the Hebrew community. I got people praying death on me. All right? I'm serious. Why? Because when you come against today's God, the Greco-Roman Catholicism, listen, that's why I call them Catholic Hebrews, because they worship women. They worship Mary. Unknowingly to them, but most of these folks, they worship women or they worship money. Let's just keep it 100. It's mammon worship. If you want money, you empower the women. So if you want to see, if I wanted to make Spiritualcombat, if I wanted to bring my numbers up and make a whole bunch of money, I'd start speaking a sugar cake cupcake doctrine up in this mug, you know, and empowering women and all this stuff, and have them chiming in, all this stuff like that, and then I make some money. Like, I could probably make a living off this thing, you know, and make my show, instead of the blue background or Spiritualcombat, I put spiritual feel good, or I name it something sugary, you know, instead of combat, spiritual enlightening. I changed my name to that. I'd make the title pink. You know, I'd wear light blue shirts instead of camouflage, and I'd say nice things to the women, and boy, man, the money will start coming in here. But I ain't going down over here. I put, you know, the brotherhood is trumps money. You need brothers, man. You need brother Gideons up in your set. You need Mikhail Gabars. People, soldiers you could count on that understand loyalty. That, man, that's priceless. But that's what Hashatan, that's what Satan, that's what this feminized culture seeks to destroy, is real, loyal men who got that King David spirit, who gonna stand in the gap, who ain't putting feelings or money or children or women or nothing ahead of the word of the Most High Yah. It's thus saith Yah, and then everything else fall in line. Hey, Gideon said, if I turn my junk into spiritual enlightenment and start wearing light blue shirts, he said he gonna unfriend me. Hey, yeah, hey, I'm telling you, yeah, there you go. Somebody, Hakeem said, turn it into spiritual love. You know, y'all know, man. Nah, but it's Spiritualcombat all day, man. I purposely make this and purposely say aggressive intimidating masculine stuff to and I block the feminine spirits from my channel. And you see, and most of them have ran off anyway. Like they ministries have said, he's evil. And I watch them. They don't run off. And now I got a pure audience of soldiers. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. All right. So look. Anyway, he precept why he said he suffers not a woman to teach. He said he went all the way back to Genesis on you. Ain't that Torah? And said, this is why I said this. And today, I told you, any Shabbat, any given Shabbat, you're going to see a big mouth woman up there, usurping authority and teaching. Okay? Anyway, we're going to move forward. Okay? Let me see. Are we ready to get into the meat? All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go to the precept, Genesis 3:17. We're going to go to the precept, okay? Well, this isn't the precept. Y'all know the story. But we're going to go. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how wicked these ministries are out here. Listen. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. Okay? And we're going to put it up here, and we're going to let it talk. Not me. It's the book. It says, and unto Adam he said. So this is after the transgression, and he did what he did. And there's a verse. If you want to know what the trees are in Genesis, with all this stuff represented in Genesis, there's a verse you could go to in, I think, Ezekiel that breaks down what all this stuff is in the garden and what the garden is a model of. Okay? Brother, I got a brother who could throw that in there because I posted it earlier in one of the groups I'm in. Hey, Brother Josh, if you're watching, post that verse in the comments that breaks down what all this stuff in the garden represents. It's in Ezekiel. I can't remember the verse though. Ezekiel. Might be 30 or something. I don't know. I posted it earlier, but it's all broken down. One of y'all might know it. All right, so anyway, but let's read this, because that's not the fact. That's doctrinal stuff. And let's get character. It says, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Curse is, so Yah told them something to do, but you doing what the woman told you to do. And he told you, and Paul referenced you back to all this. And see, a lot of these soft-ass Hebrews ain't going to bring that up. Okay? But we're going to go into something because I'm showing you, we're going to get into the meat of this now. Because when I'm telling you, it ain't your job. Like, now everybody like, see these wicked-ass women. See, you got man up on these women, this, that, and that. You can get these women in order. You know, and to a certain extent, yes, we gotta get. It's us as heads, we have the mantle of the heads of Yisrael. We're the heads of the nation, so we gotta break this thing down. You know what I'm saying? It's our job to get our houses in order. Okay? All right? It's our job to get the women in order, and not in a there's a way to do it. Okay? And we're gonna go into how it's done. Okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna pull up every verse because this is the meat of it. Y'all could just take the verses down. Somebody could, okay. It's Ezekiel, Hebrews in the Hood. He put it. It's Ezekiel 31. So I did have it correct. Ezekiel 31, verse 8. I always read the whole chapter on stuff. So you could, and then sometimes, because you have to get the context and the pretext and the post-text. You got to know who they're talking about, when they're talking about, where they're talking about, how they're talking about it. You know, because what you'll find is a lot of end time stuff that people tout as end time scripture and stuff like that. It ain't even talking about that time. But they'll try to force it in there. Anyway, look, let's get into this thing for real now. Biblical manhood, how to get your house in order and dealing with these women when they're out of order. This is just a part of biblical manhood. And the way I break it down is, as a man, you have to learn how to give a woman 3 things. All right? Affection, direction, and correction. Okay? So affection, direction, and correction. And I'm going to break it down real fast, and I'm going to break it down and laden it down with a whole bunch of scripture. Okay? So that y'all don't think I'm just coming up with some crazy concept off my head. So the affection ain't being some soft-spoken letter S enunciating gaffer. You know, hey, shalom, sis. I understand what you feel, yes. I'm in touch with my emotions, too. And all this crap. These dudes who be wearing guy liner and man makeup and just look suspect. That's when I say affection and I talk about being sensitive to women and all that. That is not what I mean. Get that out of your head. What I'm talking about is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7 type of affection. Okay? It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Now, what happens, a lot of people, even they try to use this, that 1 Peter chapter 3, which I need to go to, 1 Peter chapter 3, they try to take that out of context. But again, if you read it in context, you read the pretext, post-text, it breaks down all this stuff. All right, let me go. I'm getting ready to pull it up here for 1 Peter. We're going to go to verse 7 on it. And let me see. Okay. So they'll read what a lot of these ministries will do. Look. Look. I've seen this. And y'all let me know if y'all have seen this. They will read this. They'll say, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor. See, you gotta honor her unto the wife, but it says, as the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. See, I told you, you can't tell me what to do. See, we join there. Neck be moving like, and all that. And while the pastor reads this verse out of context incorrectly, and they never, ever, ever, ever go one verse above and read verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. See? So I always read it in context, but we're going to break all this down. What I'm getting ready to break down in this one is how to honor the wife as the weaker vessel, giving honor to her. And that goes to the first thing I said. You have to be sensitive and have affection And what does that mean? And now we're hitting on a lot of these street brews, I guess. You call them whatever you want, where they're like, "Shut up, woman," and they Hebrew robots and just mechanical with no feeling, no sensitivity. And what do I mean with no feeling, no sensitivity? I'm not talking about Ralph Tresvant or whatever that song is. I need a man with, or whatever. I don't know what that song is. Sensitivity. I never liked them damn songs. But anyway, let me stay on task. So look, what does that mean? It means having discernment about what the woman's really saying. Okay? It means being able to understand that complex language these women speak called womanese. Okay? You gotta read into what she's really trying to say. You know? Is it just hormonal? Am I really screwing up? You know, the other big thing, and this is the other big thing that men don't understand. Because again, I said it. I'll say this again. A lot of these weak ass feminized men, and just a lot of men in general, a big part of really making it into the upper echelon of masculinity is being able to deal with frustration. Okay? And the way to deal with frustration, the way to just not grow permanently bitter to women is when you understand what's going on. And when I say understand it, not just understand what's going on at the moment, understand the whole thing. You know, it says, be not ignorant of a small matter or a great. Now let's talk about our women. They're women. They're the weaker vessel. Black women, men have let them down. Let's just keep this 100. Dude, this thing is called biblical manhood because niggas is sorry as hell. Pathetic. And let's hit it right on the head, on the core. Dudes is weak as hell. They ain't got no fight in them. They can't resist they lust. And because of that, a lot of women have been damaged and dogged out by men. They say over, it's like 70% of black women have been raped or molested by the time they're 20. Okay? These men have damaged them, destroyed them. And the ones who ain't happened to have been dogged out by men, lied to, and just not protected. A woman should never be uncovered from cradle to grave. She should have a masculine man protecting, making sure she don't get manipulated by these boot-licking cowards out here. Okay? So when these women get frustrated and get mouthy and this, that, and the other, it's because they damn it. They've been through a lot. And when they see stuff that might look like a bootlicker, they put the bootlicker alarm on. When you making bootlicker moves, they bootlicker alarm go off. And they're not where they need to be able to shut that down. They want to be able to let go and relax into their femininity and know that they're protected. But dudes is weak as hell. Most dudes can't even resist looking at some porn or whatever, whacking off. They're just controlled by their lust. Dudes is weak. Dudes gotta man up. Y'all put a 100 up in there if you get what I'm talking about, if you understand me. Because this is real talk. So, because a lot of men just get frustrated with women and are quick to throw them away. But do you know that woman's history? Do you know the damage she done came from? Okay? Do you know the type of damage that's been inflicted on her? Do you know the dynamic? That's going to greatly increase your patience and your frustration and your long suffering. When you get understanding, that's being sensitive and having affection and stuff like that. You know, because a lot of these dudes exemplify bootlicker behavior. I see them. You know, it's like, dude, you ain't got no control over yourself. Oh man, I'm taking on 3 more. Why? Why? Because I want that push. And then as soon as it get a little bit difficult, I'm putting you away here. In your bill of divorce, I'm done with you. It's like, and the women like, yo, these niggas sorry and weak as hell. All right? Dudes can't handle a little bit of frustration. They can't endure. Now, mind you, now they handing out bill of divorces like autographs. Okay, they handing them out. All right, they running. It's lawful, but yet now when his ass was smoking weed, whacking off the internet porn like a daggone one-handed internet band, like he polishing up a nightstick. Okay, the Most High did not zap his ass. But, okay, but yet, now you handing out bill of divorces like you Michael Jackson in England or something. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is real. Y'all put a 100 up in there if you get where I'm coming from. Biblical manhood. Endure. It's like, find out before you give her a bill of divorce, why don't you relax and find out her history? You know? All right. All right. So, yeah, man. So, you know, it says upon, I think there's a Bible verse that says upon everything get understanding, something to that extent. Above everything get understanding. Like, dude, these dudes, man, and that's these damn caveman brews. Caveman Hebrews, you know. They Captain Caveman brews, you know. And we know, dude, relationships is frustrating. It can be tough. Relationships can be tough. But, you know, at some point, yeah, it's going to get tough, but you got to go off somewhere and relax. And this is the other problem. Again, it says your leaders are causing you to err. Man, some of these ministries need to step on down. They need to step down. Because you don't know nothing. Ain't been through nothing. Ain't teaching nothing. And you hindering the work. And you pushing Satan's work. Because, dude, listen. The main... Hey, dude, look, I got the dudes in here, man. These dudes in these hoods could tell you. A lot of the gang violence be over women. Over relations. A lot of the death. Look, Satan's main tool of destroying us as a nation is relationships. He destroys men and women permanently. A lot of times they never recover from rape and molestation. They never spiritually recover from that. The abortion rate is 900 babies a day. Now it's slowed up because the Most High bringing judgment. And I'm telling you, men, I'm telling the men, dude. That's why I know I might have, I know I come very direct and opinionated, or whatever you want to call it. These women need covering. And I think, oh, yeah, they need my covering. I'm going to cover her. I'm going to cover her for a sec, and then I'm going to give her a bill of divorce when I'm done covering her. I ain't talking about that. These women legitimately need covering. A lot of these women don't even know that they don't know that they make bad decisions and emotional decisions. Like, they 3 levels oblivious to how they do that. They need a covering. I mean, and I've seen brothers, and I know they were legit. They were like, bro, I would take her on as a daughter. Pastor Dow does it. See, Pastor Dow, real dude. He's taking women on as daughters. He ain't doing nothing with them. He ain't got no malicious intent. He just literally want to cover them, get them in order, and then choose a righteous man for them. Because you ain't gonna do it. Let me tell y'all the statistics and the numbers. 90% of men out there are bad relationship material. And I'm going to tell the men, 90% of the women out there are bad relationship material. And you are not fit to just go out there and choose a woman and say, oh, well, I'm a wife her up and marry her. The chances of you doing that wrong are 90%. You need to be, you as a man need to be able to go to another man, and you as a man should have a dude who could sign off, yeah, this is a legit brother. You know, he got his junk in order, blase, blah, boom. And then you should be able to go to another man and he should be able to say, yeah, this is a legit woman, blase, blah, boom. Y'all make this thing happen. That ain't what's happening. Dudes going out there, you know, oh, it's her fault. No, like, dude, you messed up too. All right, let's see. All right, Proverbs 4, chapter 7, wisdom. Thank you, Sister Avis. I appreciate you posting that in there because I wanted, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Not all this daggone deep doctrinal, dude. You see what I'm saying? These people don't know what, that's why I'm saying, like, the bulk of what's out there is just philosophy and history. But nobody's getting wisdom and getting understanding. That's why you see the same niggerish stuff going on in the ghetto is the same niggerish stuff going on in the Hebrew community. Put a 100 up in there if you get what I'm talking about. Somebody said, I trust Pastor Dow and I know he is a Jeremiah 3:15 pastor. Yeah. And why? And why do you trust Pastor Dow? Because you know him by his fruits. He not like some of these bootlicking pastors where you don't even know if they got a wife because you never see him. His wife's in the forefront. Wives with an S. That's evil. You know, they freaking out in the Hebrew community. Man, I'm not, if I go in on that, I will get way off track. So anyway, let me get back on topic. Deal with them according to knowledge. All right, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4 says, one that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. So you got your house in order. So 1 Timothy was talking about the, I think if I got 1 Timothy, well, I had it up before. I might be able to get there quick. Let me see if I get there quick. And we'll read into it a little more. Okay, of course it wants to load slow on me. There we go. Yep, nope, ain't gonna happen. Anyway, it just talks about having your house in order. And why does it talk about having your house in order? Because, dude, if you have your house in order, then, but if you some single dude talking about, oh yeah, the Most High chose me to do this, that, and the other, but your house ain't in order. It's always sloppy. There's always some mess going on, this, that, and the other. Dude, you ain't leading me because you ain't got it figured out. You see what I'm saying? All right, Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Okay, and then we go 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5, it says, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yah? Okay, so, and that was the scripture I was looking for. So I put it in there, so that's good. I just need to organize it correctly. So And the problem, you see, people got this book, but they're not seeking wisdom. They just seeking knowledge so they can puff themselves up and show you what they know. But they're not actually trying to get understanding to get their life in order. Because it ain't them. It's these big mouth black women. It ain't me. No, it's you, because you like Captain Caveman when it comes to trying to understand what the issue is, what people's issues are. So it is you. All right. So Pastor Dow's wives represent biblical women, yes. You don't see Pastor Dow's wives looking like a circus clown with makeup on where you're trying to figure out, is that a mannequin or a person? You know, a lot of these women out here put on so much makeup and stuff. I'm like, yo, is that a transvestite or a woman? And, well, I better not ask because people going to get pissed. Like, folks, I'm telling you, and y'all know, y'all see it, man. Some of these women got so much makeup on, which is toxic. They hair so straightened, like they hairline back here, they hanging on to the last because they done Babylonianized their hair so bad, and they half crazy because so much chemicals done leached into that big stupid head. They crazy, you know. Let alone all the crap they take in from the media. The chemicals and poison, the airwaves, chemicals and poison. So I look at all that stuff, man, and because you will know them by their fruits. Yeah, and that's biblical, man. So anyway, but let's get back to what I'm talking about. So affection is being able to discern and know what's going on. And the reason why dudes ain't got no affection is because they never looked at themselves, let alone look at women. So they can't understand, empathize with somebody else is going through. Because they never even looked at what's going on up in between their ears. So they ain't fit. But yet, man, that makes up a lot of look, I know folks is mad, but that makes up a lot of what's out here right now. And that's why you got what's going on in the Hebrew community going on. All right. So that's affection. That's the first thing. You need to be able to discern and understand, why is she nagging? Let's say you got a nagging woman. Is she nagging because it's that time of month? For some reason she hormonal? That happens a lot. If it is, be like, oh, okay. I treat it like it's raining outside. Okay, it's a rainy day today. So be it. A lot of these weak men act like their whole world done. It act because they're not grounded in who they are. It messes up their reality because they're weak ass dudes. They're not real men. They can't deal with the frustration. Okay. Now, so that's one. Or is it because you really do they have a valid issue? Do they have a valid issue? Did you really do something to really mess them up? Okay? Or is it because, and this is one of the main reasons a lot of women just go on and on bitching, is because dudes is just weak men and they don't excite that passion that true biblical masculinity can. Like when you put a woman on a pedestal, it turns them off and makes them bitchy and naggy. And I got a verse to back that up. That's Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 25:22. It says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. So when a man ain't leading, ain't being a real man, the woman is going to be angry, impudent, and just be difficult to deal with. Okay? Now, Ecclesiasticus. All right. Now, direction. What's direction? All right? Because we talked about the affection part. Okay? And I gave you some pointers on on all that. Yeah, somebody said be strict, fair, but not a doormat. The other thing is direction, having direction. When that's another part of a leader where you have direction. Your direction is the book. When you doing this book and you're putting that ahead of her, you're not putting, well, she is my direction. She's my twilight sugar plum queen, my beautiful black queen, and all this stuff. No, when your direction and the thing that you put above everything is the book, that's attractive. That's a whole lesson there. Okay? That's attractive. All right? When you're not worrying about everything they think, well, what's she going to think? Well, let me tiptoe around her. This, that, and the other. You all scared. It's widespread, man. And even these Catholic Hebrews push that. Oh, you got to honor her, All right. And it tells you, give, Proverbs 31:3, give not your strength unto women, nor thy. It's a turn off. It turns them off. They like men. All right? Correction. No, we're going direction. So direction, when you have that direction, you doing what the book said. Just like it said, diligently adhering to the scripts. All right? So now we're going to move forward. All right? So that's having direction, focusing. The direction is the word Yah. Okay? That's your direction. All right? And if you go back, you'll see more about direction when you go to what love is and all that stuff like that. Love is keeping the commandments. If you love your wife, you're going to deal with her righteously according to how the book say to. All right? Now, correction. That's up. Oh, now this is why I'm the scourge of Yasharel right now. Because I'm like, look, you got to correct these women. You got to get them in check. Now, when I say correct, I'm not talking about, there's a time for correction. There's a way to do it. It's said in rebuke. There's a verse in Sirach. It says, be discreet when you correcting folks. Okay? But I'm not saying, hey, you're going to be a pushover all the time. Again, what's the model to look at? How Christ dealt with the church. There's a time for love, and then there's a time to just let it go. Okay, so look. I got Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and he scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So, again, I said the model of a husband and a wife, that dynamic and what it looks like is given with Israel as a church, how he dealt with the church. That's that model. All right. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 22:19. He that pricketh the eye will make tears to fall, and he that pricketh the heart maketh it to show her knowledge. So sometimes feelings gonna get hurt in order to drive a point home. Now, we know that, that's not the only way. I already said, dwell with them according to knowledge. Understand what's going on. Who's in there? All right, stop making noise with that door. Okay? Do with it to show her knowledge. Okay? And if you love your wife, and like we know the way some of the sisters are out there, they real disrespectful and mouthy and all this because they bought into society and they've been through a lot. Like society, Satan done set this thing up. there's a lot of rape and molestation and just sorry ass men out there that take advantage of women and hurt them. And the women are sensitive. So that hurt gets imprinted in them deeply. So you got to look when they going off and like, there's some hurt there or whatever. What is that? You got to be wiser. But a lot of these dudes, man, I'm telling you, man, I be hearing stuff. Folks be telling me stuff about some of these dudes out here. So-called in the truth. In the truth. They in the truth. Man, it's like, dude, you might as well just be a player out in the streets, Because I was like, damn, even before when I was out clubbing and doing my thing, I wasn't like some of these dudes. I be hearing stuff. All right. So somebody said coronavirus is really exposing how little these women have it together. Prior to this, we were told constantly women are strong and better leaders. Now we see women are crumbling over this pandemic. Okay, yeah, I haven't really been looking around, but I'm sure it's happening. I haven't really seen anything yet, but I haven't been looking at that. I've been doing a lot of work around here. I watch the news from time to time, and there's, certain messages from certain people I watch. But outside of that, I knew it was going to happen, though. Because when this thing really hit, like it's getting ready to hit, it says the value of a man is going to be high. For a lot of reasons. You see that coming. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, let me know what you've been seeing. But I'm sure, yeah, it'd be worried, It's, because I'm keeping an eye on things around here that I'm not putting out. I don't want to worry anybody in my house or get at other people panic, but I got things that I'm watching in my head that I have to get taken care of here soon because of things I'm seeing, But, yeah, you need a man now for sure. You need covering. And not only do you need a man and covering, and when I say covering, I'm not saying some husband. You need to be submitted to a man who's a leader, who can lead, And you also need to have brother, for your brotherhood around you, Gather yourselves together, forsake not the assembling, assemble yourselves. You need that now. Man, this thing pop off, you ain't, man, dude. If this thing went south, you're going to need a bunch of eyes and hands around you. Trust me. Anywho. All right, let's see. All right. So that was Ecclesiasticus chapter 22, verse 19. All right, here's Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach. Same book. Chapter 9, verse 2. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. All right. And then here it is. This is it broken down in a more English version. It says, this is the same verse. It says, don't give yourself to a woman so that she crushes your strength. And you see a lot of men like this, and they're defeated men. Like, they got this spirit on them, like, and they're not proud, and they're not confident in themselves to make decisions and to do stuff. And that's the essence of a man, of manhood. So that's why I say, but how you going to correct a woman when you ain't got no wisdom and understanding? So that goes back, man. This is a dynamic, and I understand I need to go into this a lot more, but that's why this is a series. Give it to you piece by piece. This is part 3. like I said, part 2 of this series, I wasn't talking about this topic. I kind of got off on the current events and stuff like that, what's going on. I think it was still edifying. Part 1, you definitely need to check out part 1, because part 1, I was really meticulously breaking down this love thing, or what people think is love. It ain't what the Bible says. Okay? So yeah. But anyway, yeah, man, it is high time for biblical manhood. And that guy who came on here at the beginning making jokes, he said, "What is this? Biblical manhood?" Ha 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 ha. You could just go look in the comments, go check his page out. I'm sure he's effeminized, because he didn't come back in, so he was just coming around to poke fun. You can look up what ministry he's under, and his wife probably walks around with his balls in a clear purse for him to see, if that's what he was coming in there to joke. I don't get a lot of people doing that anymore, though. It's like when I was beginning to get up under Straitway, man. I mean, it was it was like a demon hunter video game. I had to have like 20 people, administrators in there, deleting people and blocking them and timing them out. Now, folks, I guess they didn't realize, hey, let me keep it moving, All right, so let me see what else. Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. All right. It says, Colossians chapter 3, verse 19, it says, "Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them." And again, if you don't understand, if you don't have good understanding, you can't discern kind of where they're at, where they're going through, or with these situations, whatever, with patience and long suffering and all that, you're going to be like some of these people I've seen out here, man. And some of this stuff play out publicly, All right. Let me see this. It says, and then we had that 1 Timothy 3:5 again. And then Sirach 25:22. We already hit that. If the woman is maintaining the man, if the woman's the head of the relationship, they think they want it, but they really don't want that mantle of leadership. And then, of course, we know Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 through 24. Because it's not the man's job to force the woman into submission. If this is a righteous woman who claims to be serving Yah, it says, "Wives," so it's talking to them, "submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord." Not your pastor, not your will. It says, "For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body." So it's like these women who they're actually ruining everything by, not being submitted. So anyway, it says, "Therefore, as a church is subject unto Christ, so let wives be to their own husbands in everything." So you have to go read that, because I think, it's real talk. All right. So somebody, brother he said, "Some of our men aren't going to make it. They will mock until the end. It's unfortunate, but something we have to accept." Yeah, it's amazing. It's unfortunate, but it's also amazing, what's going on. And if you don't get these types of things in order amongst you, there is no way you could do anything meaningful as a people, as a nation. Like I mean, we could go into COINTELPRO and what came after that. And they took crafty counsel. They knew this was how to destroy us as a nation. They knew it. They knew. They were like, this is how we can destroy them. Is right here. And they, to this day, that is what they do. And they have been successful. All right, so somebody put, Josh, no disrespect, but I don't think that promoting the globe agenda is right. The earth is not a globe. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a ferment. Yeah, we know that. We flat earthers here. I don't know who promoted it. I didn't see that, but anyway. But yeah, that's no big deal. I don't go too far into all that. There's a lot of stuff that, okay, it's good to have understanding in, like even that Ezekiel where I said how it describes the garden and all that. That's cool, but I don't get caught up in all the doctrinal stuff, because if at the end of the day, the whole book is pointing to building character. You know what I'm saying? And not being a character. So, all right, let's see what else I got. Let's see. So I got a bunch of other scriptures. I'll probably get into that in part 3. I'll go through a lot of these other ones. It's going to be interesting. It'll help put things in perspective. But if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them in there now. Make sure you put a question mark after it. But it's almost 12 here, so I'm about to go out and get after it. We're going to get stuff in the ground up in there. But, yeah, y'all seen with the little animations up there. Definitely hit the like, subscribe, share, whatever. Definitely hit that. You know, I'm on Instagram and all those other platforms and stuff like that. So definitely do that. Y'all seen what's up there. But yeah, let's see. Mike, I'm witnessing it in my own house. All right. And what are you witnessing in your own house? Is it getting in order? Oh man, my thing timed out. Hold on one sec, y'all. So what are you witnessing in your house? Is your house getting in order, or is it falling into disarray, or you see some of these dynamics I talked about here? Is that what it is? Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Screen. There we go. Let me know what you're witnessing, Brother Malone, Daniel Malone. Let me know. I'll wait for you to type it in there. All right. All right. Yep. So I'm gonna wait for him to. I think there's a little delay in the chat, but let me see something here. There we go. Might go a little quicker now. So yeah, y'all. But I think yeah, I'm gonna wait for him to type in what is he witnessing in his house. I think he's saying he's witnessing a lot of these dynamics that I was talking about, and that wouldn't shock me because yeah, it's widespread, man. It's the new norm, you know. And a lot of times when you kind of educated and all this stuff, you could spot it, you know. You could spot it head on. It's pretty evident. You could discern it on people, on women. You could look at a lot of these ministries and tell that they're female-run ministries. the women in the men, and a lot of these ministries are puppet masters. Okay, the ministry will have a male head, but the women are manipulating the hell out of that thing, and they can never do a message speaking on this. There's scriptures that they are forbidden. It's an unwritten rule. They know there are scriptures that they are forbidden to ever speak on in a lot of these ministries. And that's why these messed up relationships and these messed up households go on and on forever. Anyway, with that said, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to take it out with Brother Mike's song, Trumpets. It's featuring Brother Nick. And appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel, Spiritual Combat. Shalom, shalom.
Listen, our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I give thanks to my Father for my life change. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound, yeah. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound, yeah. Oh, Israel, don't you hear the master calling? Valley of dry bones, time to come home. Backsliding children, this revelation of zone. End time is coming, there's nothing more we can do. Time to repent before the blood is to the horse's bridle. With fire in his eyes, he'll be breaking through the sky. With the face of judgment for the unrighteous.
Show me thy glory, Yahweh, have mercy.
Yeah, our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I give thanks to my Father for my life change. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound, yeah. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound.
Babylon about to be burning in flames. He takes the word, what your sharpest picture, brain and makes it rain. With your blood to leave a wall in the stain. No fan, did you really think Christ playing game? The darkness, the valley, and acre, a dark pit. And she holding Kiana, your teeth will be gnashing. Betwixt you and I, there's a wide gulf. Son, remember in your lifetime thou receivest thy good things. But now, destruction for thy corruption. The anger towards your brother that was erupting in the depths of the soul. Now it's taking a toll, and now you're gonna pay for all the sins that you sold.
Show
me thy glory, Yahweh, have mercy.
Yeah, our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I give thanks to my Father for my life change. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound, yeah. You hear the sound of the trumpet. It make a certain sound. You are from beneath, he is from above. You are of this world he is not of. If you don't believe that Christ is he, you gon' pay the price. What's a man to gain the world just to lose his life? He set before you this day, prosperity or destruction. This world is corrupted. With a sword he brings judgment and justice for the seed of Israel, that is his covenant. So patiently we wait for the day of Yahweh that is coming. With fire in his eyes, he'll be breaking through the sky.